you unknowingly shared your addiction and your struggles with the world.
Yeah.
Like I watched it.
I had no clue.
I got to be honest with you. I don't think a ton of us thought you were going to pull out of it.
Dude, my mother bought me a plot. I have a plot right now, you know.
Yeah.
In 2009, she spent Mother's Day and she went and bought 2 fucking plots on Mother's Day. And she said to me, "If I die, who will take care of you?" And really fucking, you know, the homelessness, the prostitution, the degradation, that was just all's fair in love and war. It was a Monday morning that came with addiction.
Yeah.
But what was unacceptable to me was hurting the woman that I loved more than anything in this world repeatedly, over and fucking over. And there's nothing I would not do for that woman right now. So help me God. You name it, I'll do it. She is fucking the light of my life. And when I can't physically or humanly control my behaviors to break her fucking heart, to steal from her, to make her buy me a plot against my will, that was And then I got to a point at the end where I just wanted to kill myself on a daily basis, but I was terrified to fucking hurt myself in the process. And the drugs had stopped working. They no longer allowed me to disconnect from reality. And I would have this moment of clarity to see what my life really looked like was. No matter how high, drunk, or loaded I was, I couldn't escape this terrible reality that I created for myself, which means I started to take accountability for my actions and look at the part that I played to put me in these places that I no longer wanted to be in, and realized that it was self-fucking-induced. The common denominator in my problems were me. And if I just got the fuck out of my way long enough to latch on to someone who seems to know a little bit better than me, then maybe I stand a chance. Yeah. And that's ultimately that, and a few more things took place. And now my mother, at the end of my run, man, I was a 38-year-old homeless heroin addict. I had been in 13 inpatient treatment centers, lost count of outpatients and detoxes. My mother had bought me a plot. She had sold 3 homes to pay for me to go to 2 different treatment centers.
Jesus.
She had served me with a restraining order. She literally, she did an interview and it's out. And I play this, and I travel the world and I give these talks, and I play this 7-minute video before I come out on stage. And at the end of it, she talks about buying me that plot. And she says, I pray every night before I go to bed that God either cures him or kills him, because I can no longer take this anymore. My mother was literally praying for my death because she felt that at least once and for all, she would know that I was finally safe. And I walked into my last treatment center. Everything I owned consisted of 8 scarves, 2 jackets, 3 socks, a stick of deodorant that fit into this bag that doubled as my pillow, a needle, a spoon, and a restraining order. And I was no longer accepting of that outcome. Like, what the fuck? I came from better. I knew better. I lived with that after school special. My father was who I became. I trumped him. I became 10 times worse than that man ever was. And I went from, at that very moment, possessing that job that consisted of knowing everything for 22 years to realizing what I do know is that I have no fucking idea. And my very best thinking has placed me here yet again. And I could no longer blame it on the second ex-fiance. You know, because in my story, if you attempted to stand between me and a drink or a drug, you had to fucking go. And it wasn't personal. It was just business.
That's interesting.
You had to. Like, I didn't have a say-so in the matter.
Yeah.
Which is like, and if people really want to get into the psychology of what my brain looked like during that time, my newest book that just came out, The Streets of Baltimore, it dives into that completely. Like having these opportunities, being presented the keys to the castle, literally. And knowing that it was just for a short period of time because my disease was going to fucking burn into the ground and I couldn't do anything about it.
It's gotta fucking be crazy that, like, inciting insanity in you is that you kind of go, this one's going to be different. And then you just watch it do the same fucking thing
over and over.
This one is going to change everything. And then again.
And
Like,
that's what would happen
fuck.
each time I would kind of achieve a benchmark in my career, like the book come out, end up on the TV show, and whatever it is, the skateboarding career, like each thing was going to fix the problem. What I was trying to do was fill this internal void with an external solution.
Mhm.
And every time I get those external solutions, which came by way of money, property, or prestige, I always got diverted from my primary purpose, which was fucking obtaining complete abstinence from all mind and mood altering shit.
God damn it.